I'm going to greet Danny, who's live with us. Hi, Danny. How are you? Good evening.
Good evening, everything's fine.
Good.
You know, I was calling you because I want to ask you something.
Let's see.
Exactly. Yesterday, La Loba told me that a mother called who had lost a daughter, who had lost her daughter,
Yes.
who was very angry. And I want to ask you something. Let's see what you think, right? Yes, yes. Let's see what you think. I'm feeling really tired. Did you hear me? And I was just talking about it with her, and that's why I said I'm going to ask you to see if you have any idea, if you know anything about this. I had my daughter cremated, and she's in a flower pot in a plant in my backyard with real plants. And I was telling my friend because now, at the end of the month, it will be 4 years since she passed away. Well, you see that I can talk about it calmly without crying or anything, but obviously that day I will cry. And she told me that like I wasn't letting her like rest in peace, like the energy wasn't good. That is that right?
You know, just yesterday or the day before, I can't remember which show it was, we talked about having the ashes at home. There's something about it if you look at it from the perspective of feng shui, and this whole thing about the energies of life and death. It's not really recommended to keep the remains of a person or a pet because it applies the same way in the house, right? Especially in a living space. Maybe obviously it's very personal, and even more so in the case that we're talking about a daughter, right? But maybe what's really important, this is just my advice and my perspective, maybe what's really important and what truly spiritual, it could be doing a ritual of spreading those ashes or those pots or the things in a symbolic place. That depends on the person, in this case your daughter. But also with freedom, right? With this thing about
What happens is that, sorry, forgive me.
it's how I feel, you know? Not necessarily every time you have the ashes, it's something negative, because that's something you also have to handle with a lot of respect. It's not recommended. That's why there are places where you can keep them in parishes, in churches, right? I mean, there are places where
Yes, I know there are parishes. To leave it. But I was telling her, you know why I called you more than anything? Because I was telling her that, well, now at the end of the month on the 28th, it's the anniversary of his passing. And it's been 2 days now that I've been feeling extremely tired. Like they give me an injection and take all my energy away, you know? And I keep getting up every day at the same time. I go to bed at the same time. I have the same routine. I still haven't managed to resume my old routine like you suggested, going back to dancing. No, I haven't been able to yet. But I haven't changed my schedule routine of going to work, of leaving work. But since yesterday, I've been feeling it, and even more today. It's like they gave me an injection, and instead of injecting me with something, it's crazy, right?
And I'll add something else. Yesterday or the day before, you wanted to go on air and I couldn't put you on. Every time I pressed the button to add you, the connection would drop.
Yes, I got disconnected. That's true. Yes, yes. But I swear today, I feel like instead of giving me an injection, they gave me a syringe and took out all my energy, all of it. I'm like I pulled an all-nighter, you know? Like you went out dancing, I don't know, 3 days in a row, a marathon weekend you had. That's how I feel. It is, huh?
I have something to tell you. And everyone who's in the same situation. But first, I have to be completely respectful and then prudent in the sense that what I'm going to say is only what I would do. It's not what you have to do, okay? It's what I would do in your situation. But it's not a rule, and it's definitely not something you have to do. It's not an obligation. I feel that many times the energy, parapsychological, paranormal from the ashes at home, added to the psychic energy. I mean, what goes through your mind, what can be resolved in a therapy session, maybe a traditional one. I think the worlds merge, the paranormal world and the psychological world merge, generating an energy or the opposite. Sometimes they merge to generate an energy of vitality, harmony, light, enthusiasm, joy, and smiles. And sometimes they merge to generate the opposite or contrary energy. Lack of motivation, lack of enthusiasm, sadness. I think that, and this is what I would do in your place. I feel that when a loved one, whoever it is, okay, passes away, even if it hurts or you don't understand, they've already completed their mission. Therefore, it's human nature to want to have something close to the person. Because we are attached to something, even to its remains, we are attached. It's attachment because the person isn't there. However, what there is but however your mind works against you, because many times it creates this feeling of, I mean, the ego actually talks to you. It's like you have God, the little angel, and the little devil. The little devil that we all have in our minds tells us, how are you going to get rid of your daughter's remains? How are you going to, I mean, in your case and in the case of people who have lost a dog, how are you going to get rid of the remains? How? Well, yes. I mean, a big part of evolution is knowing how to let go. I mean, it's harder to let go. We all know it's hard to let go after a breakup, especially when someone you love says they don't love or want you anymore. It's hard to let that go, but you have to be able to let go of those who have already finished their cycle here. Letting go isn't the same as forgetting, and Mexicans understand this best. Listen, this isn't related to your question, but I think it'll plant a positive seed in you. When you can, save up money, and you should experience a Day of the Dead in Mexico. You should experience it to learn this, which I learned from them, okay? Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is not forgetting. It's letting go of what's left, letting go of the person's belongings. Maybe you can keep something obvious, but not hold on to a whole structure, because energy also needs to flow. So that your daughter, in this case, is present in your life, that she's present in your dances, that she's present in your laughter, right? I mean, not the other way around, not you being present through her remains. I hope what I'm saying makes sense.
Can I tell you something? No, I don't understand. I'm sorry. Maybe I still have something to learn or something. Many people say to let go, but I don't know what I'm supposed to let go of. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to let go of.
You see, I use two verbs. I told you letting go isn't the same as forgetting. Okay? Because they're not the same. What happens is that sometimes you make mistakes when you don't really understand the meaning of the word. Look, I'm going to explain it to you with something. Sorry, I don't want to sound like a teacher, okay? I'll share what happens to me and how I see letting go. Letting go is exactly about lightening up, right? It's the same as if I told you, look, I have this backpack that weighs 30 kilos, and I tell you to walk 10 blocks carrying the backpack. You're going to get to the 5th block and you're going to say, man, I have to drop this backpack because it's heavy for me. Letting go is that. Letting go is taking off the weight. In this case, from your daughter's presence, which actually doesn't have it, because presence doesn't have weight. Presence should bring you joy, but it's within you. It's very hard to understand, but letting go is to lighten yourself, to let go. I'm going to give you an example, which has nothing to do with spirituality, but it gets close to where I want to go with this idea. You know, there are people who are nomads who travel around the world and don't have a permanent home. And they travel and live 6 months in one country, 7 months in another. I've interviewed them many times and I asked them, how do you manage your things? Oh no, I don't have anything. I arrive in a country, buy 3 pairs of underwear and 2 pairs of pants, then get rid of them when I move. But how? You don't have? No, I don't, because I don't need anything. There's something about letting go. It's like letting go of the pain and turning it into life. Your daughter is not going to leave you. On the contrary, what's going to happen is, what's going to go away is the feeling that's obviously, as you said at the beginning of the conversation, that's shutting you down, that's draining your energy, but it's not your daughter. That's the persistent thought of not letting go of something I can't identify since I don't know your whole story, but I can tell it's related. For example, it could be with the remains. You could live a ritual where it's symbolic, right? Your daughter isn't there, but it will help you. The fact of letting go. Because your daughter isn't there, but it will help your mind to go through the experience. I'll get you back to the Mexicans. Letting go is not forgetting. Mexicans have a day in the year when they go spend the night at the cemetery. And they make a path of marigold petals from the grave to the house. And people whose loved ones aren't buried, who were cremated, also make the path of petals because the ritual symbolizes the physical return home. It doesn't really happen like that because they don't actually see them. Some people experience paranormal events, but what I mean is they live with the certainty that the loved one who passed away is within us. It's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Yes. And now that the 28th has passed, it's going to be 3 years, right? Obviously that box, I didn't dare to open the box. I put the box in because I did it alone. I put the box inside a huge flower pot and put plants on top of it. Obviously, I guess I was just talking to Loba, my friend. I guess that wooden box must be half destroyed by now, that it probably isn't intact, and that I'd have to remove the plants and dig a really big hole and put everything in a bag, all that soil mixed with the remains in a bag, and take it somewhere.
Honestly,
Is that what I should do?
I wouldn't do that. It's a flower pot. It's a flower pot. Just leave it somewhere, okay? I mean, your daughter isn't there either. It's hard to say. It happened to me with my dad. Look, I did open the box. When they gave me the cremation box, I broke the wood, opened it, and put my hand inside. You know, there was nothing there. I mean, I'm telling you.
I couldn't.
No, well, but I understand the pain, you know? But to take some weight off this, I want to show you, I want to tell you, there was nothing. Honestly, not even that. Because there's the creepy part about bones. No, nothing like that. It's like ashes after a barbecue. That's what you see there. I mean, the person really isn't there. That's the work you have to do to let go. Let go of all the symbols. Funeral, this is my perspective, okay? I respect people who need the ritual of going to the cemetery, but I don't. I don't share that. For me, the person isn't there. For me, everything that's there is death, but a dark death. And the people who pass through our lives give us life and keep giving us life from the beyond. And from right here, there are a lot of signs that will keep appearing, but I think this is just my opinion, okay? That until we let go of the pain of dying with our loved ones, those who went before us can't really be present in our lives. Because we block that life energy. They are in another dimension, on another plane, but they are still present because we keep clinging to the material world. Her remains. Your daughter isn't there. Take the pot to a beautiful countryside spot. I'm just suggesting. I don't want to interfere. It's between you and your daughter, a symbolic place. For example, with my dad was a car mechanic. He was a huge fan of motorsports. He always went to the racetrack. And well, we left his remains in a symbolic place that has a lot to do with racing with cars. And well, let me tell you something. I never went back to that place because I know my dad isn't there. It was symbolic. It was for me. It was for me to close something. Because closing a cycle doesn't mean forgetting your daughter. It's closing the cycle of pain. Of rejoicing with, I'm not saying you do it on purpose, you do it unconsciously, but you end up wrapped up in that movie of funeral rites, of death, of coffins. You have to leave all that behind because your daughter isn't there. But until you believe it, paranormal things don't happen. I mean, you really have to believe it. It's like you open a door to tell her, in this case, your daughter, I let you follow your path, be with me whenever I need you, talk to her, because that's what it is. It's like letting go is letting go of the energy, right? Let it fly, really let it fly. I'll tell you this, just like I tell you one thing, I'll tell you the other. Nothing you do is going to stop the evolution of the loved one who has passed away. Because we are on a lower level, it's for us. We do it for ourselves. We give ourselves a gift within the pain to experience leaving the flower pot in a symbolic spot within a beautiful landscape. I don't know what the place is. Surely you know, but maybe you can wait for this date to come. And it has a nice circle there with the number, with the date, with the anniversary. Right? I would take the whole pot. Your daughter isn't there, don't worry.
No, I already know my daughter isn't there. Do you know why my daughter ended up at my house? Not my daughter, but...
Her remains, or yes?
I'm aware of that. My son was very upset I didn't bury her. I explained I didn't because what would be there wouldn't be his sister.
Exactly, obviously.
He stayed a bit upset about that for a while. I was going to my mom's place. Do you know why the ashes weren't at my mom's place? Because they wanted to do some kind of ritual, you know? Sorry.
Yeah.
I act tough, but well, sometimes I break down in silence.
You don't have to act tough.
It's just that, you know what, Hector? People get bothered even though so many years have passed, except for Loba, because she's right here next to me. People get bothered when they see me sad about my daughter. Believe it or not, well, let me tell you, they wanted to do like a ritual, you know? And they wanted to put, my mom wanted to put her in a flower pot with a plant. But at one point I hear her say, I hope the flower pot, the plant doesn't dry out, because if the plant dries out, Aldana will die.
No, well, of course, no.
So I said, oh no, this
Is a bummer.
is going to be...
Sure.
This is going to be terrible. No, I'm not taking it home, because every time the pot dries out, it's going to bring all that back up again. So that's why it stayed at home, and what I thought of was to put it in a pot. I wasn't going to have the urn as a decoration, you know, and I didn't know where to take it. But that's why it ended up at home, because every time that plant dries up for my mom, let it dry up for natural reasons. Because the plant got old, because she overwatered it, or it got too much sun. She's going to start feeling like her granddaughter died again, so for me it's going to be really hard to help her get through that. So I said, no, I'll take it home. But I'm noticing what I was telling Loba, I'm lacking energy. I mean, I don't have any energy. What did you do? Nothing. I went back to work, waited for you to wake up, then came here for a snack and to watch your show, Hector. I have less and less energy. I don't know if it's because the date is approaching or something else.
For me, it's everything.
I have to make the most of that date.
For me, it's everything. That's why I'm sharing what I do. But it's something you have to process yourself. Give a different meaning to the date as well. Give it another meaning. Give yourself the chance to live that experience, to give it, to add meaning to the remains, including the flower pot and everything. Exactly what you said about your mom is exactly what a lot of people do. They feel like the person is there, but the person isn't there. But that's the human mind, which is very small and needs to have control. Even if it doesn't seem like it, that's still ego. The belief that we're above the spiritual world we don't understand, right? Actually, it's the opposite. We're the small ones. Those who have passed away are already on a higher plane. So, let's live the rest of our lives trying to be happy, to enjoy ourselves, to keep them present, because letting go is not forgetting. But you too, you have to reconnect with yourself as a person, not with yourself in the role of a mother. This isn't against your daughter, against your daughter's spirit. No, on the contrary. It's about you finding yourself again to the person who gave birth to that woman who existed even before your daughter was born. So, well, hold on. This is the work that needs to be done in grief, right? To find yourself again so you can stand in a place where your daughter, the one who passed away, the one who went ahead, she'll remain in your life from another place where you can share your good news and start receiving many signs. What happens is that it's work, it's a process, it's grief.
Of course, I understand you, and also keeping things inside isn't good.
For me, no.
I got rid of almost everything.
Not for me, man.
I got rid of almost everything, but maybe I'll find something. It happened to me that I found letters I had never read before, addressed to me, for example, and I kept those and said they don't have a year, you know? They didn't put a date on it, but I found 6 letters. I found that when I read them, they killed me. Do you understand me? Because, for example, I remember one that was the one that impacted me the most that said to me, thanks to you. I mean, she wasn't there anymore. How did she write or phrase this? It said, thanks to you. I lived all the years I lived. I mean, she was talking to me like,
as if she were here now, because that's your daughter. I mean, what you're saying is really great, because keep the letters, keep the photos, things that show you.
how could she write that to me? She should have written it when she was alive, right?
That's just how the paranormal world works. Anything that has your daughter's life energy, yes, keep it. A letter written by her has her life energy. The pot with her remains does not have her life energy. That's why it's easy to tell which objects you can keep. And I just thought of something else, not for you to do, but for you to think about. I totally support, because I go back to the Mexicans, the idea of, instead of the ashes, a little altar for your daughter. Yes, that. In your house, a good photo of her, beautiful, smiling, the letters, a little place for her. That, yes, because that's where life will be. She will be alive there. The energy of life will be there.
But that letter, Hector, I swear next time I'll have it on hand to read it to you. But I remember it very clearly. She wrote to me like this: thanks to you, I lived these 27 years, and I say I'm sorry. As soon as you looked at the letter, you kept repeating the date, the date. Thank you for your care. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for accompanying me every step of the way. You are my angel. You are my warrior, she wrote. I learned to fight because you taught me how to fight, but it was already time to rest. How did she write me that letter if she was alive? Do you understand? I mean,
Look, you reminded me of something that Benjamin Vicuña told. You know that Vicuña and Pampita lost Blanca, their daughter, and they also found drawings from the little girl, which is similar to what you're telling. She thanked them for being her parents, as if the little girl knew her time here would be short.
of course. How can that be? I swear I turned it over and over. I read it, I reread it, looking for the date, because the first part said, Happy birthday, Mommy, I love you. Obviously, it was my birthday. When I turned the letter over, there was a lot written there, and it said, Thank you for these 27 years that you were my mom. I said, What? You wrote this to me while you were alive, thanking me.
That's exactly the message. I mean, the message is to be grateful. I mean, it's hard, but being grateful instead of letting the rest of your life be filled with the pain of losing her, it's the opposite. It's thanking life for the time she was with you, knowing that we'll meet again because they just went ahead of us. The ego wrongly thinks, I'll never see or hug them again. That's not true, my friend. We're not going to be. And we don't know that. That's what we don't know. But maybe, I mean, there are hypotheses that say that people who leave when they're young, be certain they're leaving earlier, right? I mean, they can't say it or make it explicit, but they know their mission will be different.
I didn't understand the message that night. There was a girl who asked me, she had a malformation that made her unable to walk. She used a wheelchair, but mentally she was totally normal. I wasn't there. That night she was at my mom's place, and I had gone on vacation for the first time and had left a whole group of people to take care of her. But since that day she was feeling stomach pain, I told my son to take her to my mom's place. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand the sign, because when I spoke with her, she passed away. Sorry, I don't want to take up too much of your time. She passed away at 4:30 in the morning. I made a video call with her at midnight, and she told me, Mom, don't come tomorrow, because I was coming back from vacation to take her to the doctor. Don't come tomorrow, Mom, because I just want to sleep. I want to sleep. I'm tired. Do you understand that I'm tired, Mom? I didn't understand her. She said she was leaving. Do you get it? Then I realized she was telling me, "Don't come, Mom, don't come because I don't feel bad. I'm not unwell. I want to sleep. I'm tired. I want to sleep." But I didn't understand that her "I want to sleep" meant she wanted to sleep on another level, you know? She told me, "Don't come, Mom. Don't take me to the doctor because no. Because no." And then when we hung up the next day, my mom told me, "Sorry, I'm moving because I don't want them to see me wiping my nose." I remember my mom told me that she told her, "Tell Mom not to come, not to cancel her vacation, not to come because I don't want to go to the doctor. Nothing hurts. I just want to sleep." I never interpreted in my life that sleeping and her tiredness meant she was finishing her cycle here. I didn't understand it at that moment.
The thing is, you don't have everything. You don't have to think, how did you not realize it at that moment? Because things make sense when they're supposed to, like the letter you found and read. I mean, everything happens when it's supposed to happen, even if our mind doesn't understand it at the time. As time goes by, it's like a puzzle coming together. I'm going to leave you now because I have to say goodbye, but I loved it and I think your energy has changed, huh? Now I saw you again, I'm seeing her, I'm telling people. I saw you again with a smile, like you're connected with life again.
I don't feel so tired now. After talking, it's like it came back to me, like I got a little boost of energy.
Wait, listen. Tell your friend too. What just happened in our conversation is letting go. And notice that we were talking. We were talking about your daughter all along. But this is letting go. You see that letting go is not forgetting. It's releasing what holds you back. And transforming the bond you have with the person who passed away into something else. Like Drexler says, everything transforms. Let's listen to that song more often. Danny sending a big hug. Think carefully about where you'll do the ritual.
Thank you for everything. Send a greeting.
A kiss for your friend, La Loba.
Send a greeting, La Loba. There she is. She greeted you.
A big kiss.
Thank you, my love.
Kiss, take care.
Thank you, Hector. I appreciate you. You changed me. You made me smile.
That's great. That was the idea, sending you a big kiss.
A big kiss. See you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you all for the messages you sent me. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. There was Danny. Well, we've had yesterday and today so far in the show really intense episodes. It's impossible. Don't get emotional about this.